Over the years, I've realized that it doesn't quite deliver what I wanted it to deliver at, because the industry's changed and the products have almost like developed in such a way that that product does good, where like mesotherapy serum will really work well, but it also needs the chemical peel and it also needs the cleansers and the toners and the moisturizers actually to work well with it. Buying from companies that it was just disjointed and not giving me the results I was looking for, especially as I started to go into aesthetics and started to work deeper into the skin, I felt that the ball game changed, and the results really needed to be achieved from not only the product, but it needed to be achieved from delivering that product to the right layer and having it so potent that it actually makes a difference. For example, high-end peels like the TCA peel that I was actually using, first of all, the TCA peel completely lowered the pH of the skin, which meant that it was going to sensitize that skin. Secondly, it removed so many different layers of the skin that it left the skin really traumatized. It left it open to the environment. And then later on, I was finding that the clients were saying, oh, I've got pigmentation. And you know something? They got pigmentation, and who was responsible for that? It was me, right? And over the years, I thought, no, I'm not doing this now. So I put together a range where I actually know the percentages that would work for that condition, and knowing that certain cosmeceuticals, certain ingredients work well together, and then just delivering them through safely. So it was a challenge to actually get everything sort of, aligned. But it took a while, but we got it there. And that's what makes this range so special and so different. The main difference between a lot of other ranges that I've used and come across to Revival is this. A lot of the ranges that I use were very high percentages, because I wouldn't use low percentages, right? Because I know they wouldn't deliver the results. So in using those high-end, really powerful percentages, I found that it was actually disturbing the epidermal layer of the skin. It was removing the protective layer of the skin. That didn't sit right with me, because as I turned into like mesotherapy and skin boosters, I understood the importance of actually working within the dermal layer and boosting that up to get your result. Whereas over the years, I'd been trained to actually really crash and push my way through the epidermis to get to the dermis, right? But this is all changed. I've now developed a range that actually goes down into the basal layer, into where the problem is, without having to use massive percentages to get there, because I've got microneedling, I've got peels that are developed in a way that I can use them in that layer. And I think that's what's so different. So we've got 3 different categories of skincare ranges. They're very, very different. We've got the Ageless, we've got Illumine, and we've got Clarify. All 3 are so different that we can't really cross over any of the ingredients into the other. Clarify range is for literally acne-prone skin, oily skin. And we've got the Illumine range for darker skin tone, uneven skin tone, pigmentation. And then we've got the Ageless for skin that's actually just starting the onset of the aging process. I think it's really important to keep them in their separate categories, because what I did do was I actually used a number of sort of, ingredients all bunched together that actually had a similar sort of, function. For example, in the Illumine range, I used the turmeric serum, turmeric extracts, glutathione, vitamin C, niacinamide. So all have a brightening effect. They'll all sort of, really work on the melanocyte cell to keep it suppressed. And so we're looking at the long term as well as giving a brightening effect on the skin. I think it's really important to have the synergy of products that work well together within a skincare range, whether it's starting from the moisturizer to the toner to the serum to the peel. I think it's really important that a synergy of products that do a similar job are within that range, because it's a knock-on effect to not only give the result on the epidermis, which is on the outer skin, but you're actually going to get a similar effect in the lower layers of the skin. So they too work well together and blend in. So the products have been developed in such a way that they're actually very high percentages, but you would never know because of the way that they were blended and because of the actives being put together. So if you've got like a 30% composition of a few different actives, we're not relying on the salicylic acid at 30% to give you that result. We've got a blend of salicylic acid, niacinamide, vitamin C, and all of those within that will give you the result. Not only that, we've complemented them with soothing ingredients that like aloe vera gel, hyaluronic acid, to actually negate the effects of the drying or the irritation that you would get sometimes when you have high percentages. I grew up with, if we use the peel has to be stinging, it has to be painful, it needs to shed a lot afterwards, and that's then you think, yes, it's actually working and it's really good. But now developing these products, I've actually completely changed my mind on that, because we're getting the result not by using ingredients that are really going to crash through your epidermis, but we're using ingredients that are going to rejuvenate the skin, and we've replaced like higher percentage of, say for example, salicylic acid with willow bark. Willow bark is a natural alternative to salicylic acid, so you don't get the aftermath and the adverse effects, but you get the result. Ingredients like hyaluronic acid, aloe vera, lutea root, they're all plant-based products that actually really work, and they enhance the skin without stripping the skin. When I was developing the whole range, one thing I was really adamant about was that I didn't want fragrances in any of the products. So if I'm going to get like a smell from a product, it needs to be natural. So the natural smells that you get from the products are the plant extracts. For example, the turmeric, you can really smell the turmeric in the products, and that's coming from natural turmeric extract. It's not a fragrance. There's no alcohol in the products as well, because I think alcohol has a really negative effect on the skin. My main goal was to maintain the pH of the skin and not destroy the acid mantle to get my results.